Guys, so I wanted to finish up talking about the vital behaviors. So our first video had the first two, which was to be proof the product works yourself, doing your programs, sharing about that on social media or just in person. And then the second one was your personal development and just how important it is that you have that confidence to share this and how it worked for you. So I want to talk about 3 and 4 today, which are inviting, technically invite, and recognizing other people and their success. So I'm going to start with the one that I personally feel like it's a little easier. So that's recognizing other people's success. So if you have challengers in a group, that's great. Go, please. If you have challengers in a group, that's great. Obviously, you can recognize what they're doing and their success and how things are going for them. But if you don't have challengers, okay, I love you. Go move your Peppa house, please. Okay. If you don't have challengers yet, then who are you recognizing? Well, you can recognize other people in the challenge group you're doing. When you get a challenger, obviously recognize them for making that commitment. But there are people all over social media that are going through health journeys. I mean, every day scrolling my news feed, there's someone who has lost weight or maybe even just wants a healthy recipe or is sharing one. You can recognize those people. You can send them private messages. You can comment on their feed. There are always people to be recognizing. And guess what? If you're just starting out, don't recognize people for health and fitness if you don't see it. You know, if a girl is wearing a cute shirt, send her a message, and that's starting up a convo for you for our next piece. But it's just important to be putting that positivity out there when it comes to people's health, or maybe even when it doesn't. So normally when you talk about the vital behaviors, the big scary one for people is inviting. And I shouldn't even say that because that's a mindset thing. Now I'm just setting it up to be big and scary. It's all about how you approach it. So in order to gain challengers, in order to gain coaches, you have to ask people. A lot of people, even when you start sharing, they don't really put the pieces together and get what it is you're doing. So it's important to have those conversations behind the scenes and talk to people, give them the opportunity. I know for me, because I'm the one posting every day or twice a day, that I just feel like I'm being so annoying if I'm constantly asking people, do you want to join me? Do you want to join me? Guys, people are not seeing every single one of your posts unless they are Facebook or Instagram stalking you, which is great if you have some stalkers. But people aren't seeing everything. So it doesn't have to be a thing where, oh, I asked someone to join me 2 days ago in my public post and they're going to think I'm annoying. No, because the people that saw it 2 days ago probably aren't going to see it. So let's talk about some different ways that you can invite. You can obviously invite, we call that a call to action at the end of your post. When it comes to posting, they always say that facts tell, but stories sell. So yes, there are some times where maybe it's great to do a post specifically about what you're doing, but y'all, there's so much on social media for people to read. They don't stick around for information necessarily. They stick around for stories. So, you know, you can post your sweaty selfie and be like, I did 80-day obsession day 43, yay. People don't know what that is. They don't know what that entails. But if you go behind that, 44 days ago, I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel good about myself. I had no plan for my health and fitness. And now I'm 43 days in and I've worked up to this point and I'm feeling stronger and I finally feel good about what I'm putting in my body. Well, someone's sticking around for that. They're attached to that feeling instead of just some random info that they don't even understand. So, you can do that. And at the end, ask people if they want to join you kind of give them an action item so they know that's an option. Because, you can post that you're working out all day. People don't know they have that opportunity to join in with you unless you tell them. And then, honestly, I don't get a lot of interaction on posts like that. Sometimes people are apprehensive to put it out there in front of everybody, or again, maybe they don't see it. People are joining me and we're connecting and we're having those conversations behind the scene. So that's either one-on-one if they're people that you know personally, that's in text messages, in phone calls if you can get them on the phone, or we're so lucky with things like Facebook and Instagram that they have messengers attached to them. So on the outside, all you see with these coaches are their posts that they're putting out there. But that's so not the only thing that's happening and going on. There are so many messages that I'm sending behind the scenes. And that message doesn't need to be some copy and pasted thing where, hey, I'm doing these challenge groups. I start one in 2 weeks. Come join me. No, I mean, sometimes that could work, and I'm not going to lie, there have been a few times where people have maybe followed me on Instagram and they've made that choice, and that's kind of how I've started it. But most of the time, people need the relationship. They can do Beachbody with anybody. They're choosing you based on some kind of connection. So just think as the first step of your inviting process is just inviting someone to a conversation. Talk about, something they posted about. People love to talk about themselves. Talk about, just catch up with someone. If it's an old friend from high school, hey, how have you been? That behind the scenes interaction, especially on Facebook and Instagram, is going to make it more probable that you come up in that person's feed and they may see what you're doing and ask you about it. Or, if you're having a catch up conversation with someone like, hey, what are you up to? I know when I started, I was just like, I'm a math teacher. Well, no, I'm doing more than that. I'm wanting to grow this business. So now I say I'm a math teacher. I do online health coaching. And a lot of times they'll ask me, oh, well, what does that entail? And that can kind of start the conversation. So I use starting those conversations as a mean where if health and fitness comes up or if they ask me about what I do, great. Maybe if the time's right, you can invite them. And if not, open up those conversations. And maybe a little bit later down the line, when you guys have had some interactions, you can invite them to join you. But, keep that simple. Don't make it into a big thing where you feel like you have to word vomit all the details on them. You can lay it out very simply as I do online health and fitness accountability groups, or we do at-home workout programs with nutrition. If you ever need help with your health goals, I'd love to tell you more about it. It's not me laying out a program name. It's not me calling it out yet even as Beachbody or telling them how much it costs. It's just keeping it, simple to see if they're even interested in it. And when it comes to inviting people, a lot of times we break it down into your warm market. Those are people that you actually know, that you've seen face to face in your life, family, friends, the girl you went to high school with, your butcher at Publix if you go there a lot, people that you actually see face to face, and then your cold market strangers or people you just know through social media, something like that. And both of those are people you can invite, but obviously you go about it in a different way. You want to be adding people to that cold market, people that you don't know in person. But as you bring in new friends, online that have similar interest in you, and you start talking about those things and building that relationship, you're bringing them into your warm market. You're bringing them in as people now that you know better, that you have a connection with, that you can invite. Now, I'll be very honest, and she may even be watching this someday. My friend Emily, when I started this, my first customer ever was a good friend of mine who wanted to do it. And she was like, hey, I'm going to do this. And I was like, oh, I was thinking of being a coach. And she's like, well, be a coach and I'll be under you. So she was my first customer, and literally she decided she wanted to do it before I ever invited her to anything or was a coach. I went home that next day and was like, okay, I'll be a coach because I already have a customer. But, she was my good friends, and I had some other friends that wanted to do it with me. But one of my best friends, Emily, like, I didn't invite her because I felt weird. I didn't know how to approach it. Sometimes because there is a money transfer, we can feel awkward with that. But guys, you're offering a service that I hope has made a major impact and change on your life like it has mine. And that's something you want to share with people. But I didn't invite her. And, I didn't really know how to approach it. And then she calls me on the phone one day and is like, what is this thing that you're doing with such and such and such and such? Like, okay, tell me about it. Okay, I want to do it too. It was the easiest thing ever, but I say that to tell you a lot of times we shy away from our warm market, the people we really know. Well, I'm not going to ask my aunt. I'm not going to ask the girl I work with. And I do this too because it's like, oh, I have to see them. What if they say no? What if they're not interested? So what? That's going to happen. I can promise you. Yeah, I can promise you in this business, more people are going to tell you no than yes. But it's okay because you have a gift to share and you never know when they might circle back around to it. So invite everybody. Invite the person you've known for 30 years and invite the person maybe that you've had a conversation with for 30 minutes. But if you truly believe that this is a gift and it's changed your life for the better, then it's worth sharing with everybody. So I think that's all I have on those. Inviting is definitely, that vital behavior that you have to do to move your business forward. You can share what you're doing and use the products, and you can do your personal development. You can recognize other people, and that will make your life better. I truly believe it. But if you want to build this as a business, you've got to have that inviting piece. So, start if you need to build your confidence. Ask your mama to do it with you. Ask a really good friend that will say yes and at least try out a group with you, just to help you out at the beginning. But as you build your confidence with this, and there's a lot of trial and error, you start out sending crazy long messages where you word vomit on people, and you just get better at it. So know with every invite you do, every time you ask someone, you're building your own confidence, you're building your own ability, and you're just getting better at it. So go out, invite, fall on your face. Guess what? A few months down the line, you just invite them again, and you'll be better at it if they say no. So thanks so much for watching. I challenge you right now to go out and invite one person. Whoever just popped into your head, go invite them. Do it. Just do it. Okay, have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.